Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. So today we're starting as usual with puppy pictures. So I wanted to start with a picture of what I get to deal with a lot of times when trying to take pictures of these dogs. Here you see a picture of Grace, her head in my way as I wait for the flash to go off because I opened their crate to check on the puppies. And Yvonne was laying there with her little feet up in the air, pinned between her two sisters. And I'm going to take a picture, and the flash starts going off, and Grace sticks her head in the way just as the picture's about to go off. It's like a sixth sense with this breed. When they know you want to take a picture, they will do everything they can to fuck it up. Of course, then she finally gets out of the way, and you can see little Yvonne upside down, pinned up against the wall. Her sisters on either side, and there's Mom's back. In exciting news, two of the girls now have their eyes open. Here is Carolyn, and you can see just her itty-bitty puppy eye. The other one's a tiny bit open, but you can't quite see it yet. And here is Yvonne with her eye open. So the two littlest have their eyes starting to open, and the two largest don't yet. Bets are on Cassandra reaching a pound tomorrow. With Betty right on her heels, they will both probably reach 16 ounces tomorrow, is my thought. Carolyn was right at 15 5/8 today, and Betty was at 15 3/8. So they're really rushing fast towards that goal. Carolyn was 14, and Yvonne just reached 11. So again, everybody's growing at a nice, healthy rate. It won't be long until I can actually show you guys pictures of them frolicking around. I'm going to have to figure out how to get videos off my phone because that will be absolutely adorable. That said, if you're someone who's been paying attention on the Twitters lately, you would know that there's quite a bit of drama around the game Avowed. It's a new game, or a new RPG coming out by Obsidian, supposed to release February 8th, 2025. Been hyped up to be the next generation's ultimate RPG. And I thought it wouldn't be a terrible idea to take a look at what the game is first before we get into what the drama is. I think everybody can probably guess what the drama is. If you look at the way things are going recently, when there's video game drama, it's typically about one specific thing. You see here, the pre-purchase of the standard edition is $70, or you can get the premium edition, which will give you 5 days ahead of the full release. So you can get the game as early as February 13th for $89.99 or $90, which, why would I buy a game just to have it 5 days early? These things I don't understand. Oh, and apparently you get 2 premium skin packs for your companions. So about this game, welcome to the Living Lands, a mysterious island filled with adventure and danger. Set in the fictional world of Eora that was first introduced to players in the Pillars of Eternity franchise. Avowed is a first-person fantasy RPG from the award-winning team at Obsidian Entertainment. You are the envoys of Adir, a distant land sent to investigate rumors of a spreading plague throughout the Living Lands. An island full of mysteries and secrets, dangers and adventure, and choices and consequences in untamed wilderness. Okay, whoever wrote that sentence really needs to go back to school. You discover a personal connection to the Living Lands and an ancient secret that threatens to destroy everything. Can you save this unknown frontier and your soul from the forces threatening to tear them asunder? They're probably not going to like this, but this sounds a lot like Greedfall. The Living Lands is a place that feels foreign yet somewhat intrinsic to you, as it feels the island itself is calling out to you for help. Explore an island home to many different environments and landscapes, each with their own unique ecosystem. Visceral combat to play your way. Mix and match swords, spells, guns, and shields to fight your way. Dig into your grimoire for spells to trap, freeze, or burn enemies. Bash them with your shield, or use ranged bows to attack from a distance. Companions is part of your journey. Companions from a spread of species will fight alongside you with their own unique set of abilities, from a former mercenary to an eccentric wizard. They will be part of your journey, with your choices shaping them as you help them with their quests. Okay, so the mature content descriptions here. Avowed contains realistic violence against intelligent species. It also contains realistic violence against wildlife and fantastical creatures. Vulgar language is used throughout the story, containing mature themes, drug and alcohol references, and sexual references. The player may also participate in drug and alcohol use with their companions. Wow. Okay. I'm never a big fan when they go into that kind of detail in the mature warning section. It's just silly. Doing a quick check on how the current games journalism people are treating Avowed. Here's an article from November 24th titled Avowed is a thoroughly old-fashioned RPG adventure, but after the disappointments of Dragon Age the Veilguard and Starfield, that might be exactly what we need. Amusing that they're actually admitting that Dragon Age the Veilguard is a disappointment. As is typical of current day, the run-up to a game release is always about hyping up a game in the games journalist industry, unless, of course, you do something that they might not like. Pissing off players isn't one of those things they don't like. They don't care about how the players feel about the games. They're mostly just interested in advertising games and hoping to draw people in who don't normally play games into playing games. An older article, Obsidian seems scared people will compare Avowed to Skyrim, but it shouldn't be. The similarities are obvious, but the differences make it compelling. Realistically, of the games Obsidian has released in the recent years, I was not very excited about Outer Worlds. I tried to play it. The gameplay itself was fine. I actually had some trouble with the narrative within the game, believe it or not. For as freeform as I generally am, the tone a lot of things pushed me out of the game. Now, my first look at what the drama appeared to be was this post by the Niche Gamer, where they state, if you're making a game where the goal is to piss off the audience, you have no business making a game at a major studio where your spiteful delusions will directly harm the careers of hundreds of others by association. Obsidian, you deserve better. And they post a link to Mike Hansen of Hansen fame on Blue Sky, where he posts, oh, you know what, might as well just go to the actual post, because you know me, I had to go there and make sure it was there. And here it is, sickos.jpg. I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game, and I cannot believe it actually happened. Just wait until you see the default. You said little shit, as opposed to sad. Apparently he has some problems with typos. And this, of course, is referring to the people being upset, I guess, about the pronouns in the game. I'm going to be entirely honest. When it comes to character creation, I don't care about the pronoun issue. Realistically, my ideal character creator would present me with a blank template. Literally, I'm talking like a mannequin out of the store, kind of blank, and then I could adjust the sliders to make whatever the fuck I want. And then when it gets to the end, and I pick if it's a boy or a girl. That way, if somebody wants to make a femboy or a manly woman, they can do that. I don't care, because I will still make a really sexy woman. It's just what I'm going to do. The thing that bothers me more than anything, honestly, is putting genitals on these characters. Why do I need to put genitals on these characters? I should not, unless I am playing a porn game, be concerned about the appearance of the genitals on a character. I know people get really uptight about this whole pronoun thing. For me, it's the genital issue, and that really kind of bothered me in Cyberpunk 2077. The idea that people are so focused on the actual presentation of genitals, and then other people over here are concerned about words. I find the creation of genitals on a character creator to be far more bothersome. Because in what context should you be seeing those? You really shouldn't. I mean, but that's just how I feel. I can, to some degree, understand why it bothers other people. Now, like I said, I would rather start, instead of with a female body type and a male body type, a completely blank body type. I make the body, and then I tell the game if it's a boy or a girl. After that, I'm happy because I got to make the character I wanted. And that's the entire point of character creation, in my opinion. I also think it would be hilarious, because I know so many men come in and say, oh, I just go with whatever the default is and I move on. I would like to see them have to spend 15 seconds to, I don't know, just grab the muscle slider and pull it all the way to the top, grab the shoulder slider, pull it all the way to the side, grab the waist slider and pull it all the way to the other side, so, you get that perfect V. I know that's kind of cruel of me. But, you can also just hit random. And a lot of them do that too. But at that point, I don't consider that woke, because that isn't about trying to pretend to be something that the character's not. It's about just building the character, which I'm sure some people will probably feel differently about that than I do. And that's okay. I prefer the blank slate method. Matt goes on to say, it's honestly deeply surreal to have the world's richest, shittiest boy whine about something I am making. I am quite frankly giddy. I cannot think of a single person in the world I would rather irritate, as opposed to thinking about all the other people he's irritating, not just with that, but with the fact that he's so focused on irritating Elon Musk of all people. Anyway, Avowed comes out February 18th next year. Give it a whirl if you ain't afeared of the woke my mind virus. And then he said this MFR said woke my mind virus, but he didn't realize he said you said little shit as opposed to sad. So there's that. Well, it's interesting to see some pushback on the narrative here on Blue Sky, where you have people, of course, saying, they want to play with it. Stoked to hear what you think of it. This person says, Obsidian got a huge boost of respect for me for taking this stand. Can't wait to see this on Twitch. Finally got their last game, The Outer Worlds. It was great. And then this person responds, what you think is irrelevant. This insane guy just made the game flop. He can laugh at the world's richest man while his company hemorrhages money, I guess. And then this interaction is interesting. This person says, take a victory lap and hit the showers, champ. You earned it. Which, what did he do? He created a video game that irritated somebody. Oh no. Thanks, coach. Fun person here says, I'm just a fan, but we're all doing our best for our family, country, God, and coach. Which I guess is some kind of guess. I don't know if it's some kind of joke. With all sincerity, there's no such thing as just a fan. Y'all are the whole reason for making this stuff, and it's why we do everything we can to make the game as inclusive as possible. Pissing off the chuds is just a side benefit. So, on one hand, he's saying as inclusive as possible. But if you're looking to piss people off, you're not trying to be as inclusive as possible. Realistically, he's not pissing off just Elon Musk, but he only focuses on Elon Musk. It's sad. He's lost touch with who the actual people who want to play the games are. Avowed is going to have an absolutely stellar, amazing story and gameplay to climb over these issues that they are presenting. I'm not saying that it's going to be impossible, because it's not impossible. People will play games that they consider woke all the time. I remember the outcry about Baldur's Gate 3 when it came out, and look at how beloved it is now. But again, that's because the game got going. They kind of forgot the rest of that stuff. Unless you chose to engage in it, it'll really depend on where this game goes. Of course, then you have these people legitimately in a TTRPG, since room on a character sheet is at a premium, there should only be a field for pronouns instead of having one for sex or gender or whatever, since how people refer to you is going to come up way more often. At least he admits that pronouns are just how people refer to you. Of course, what he doesn't admit is that they are how people refer to you when they're not, or refer to you when they're not talking to you. But that's an entirely separate issue that we'd get on some other time. But yeah, over here on Blue Sky, there's just a whole bunch of people who are really happy and excited that someone made a game that pissed somebody off. Now, I've seen this screenshot wandering around. Matt Hansen is no longer on Twitter, obviously, but this is a tweet that was covered, I don't know, it was months back, where Matt said, reminder to Black artists out there who are looking for portfolio reviews or job advice. My DMs are open and you will always have my priority. We got too many crusty white dudes in this field. Please let me help you replace me one day. I want to go back to living in the woods. Now, Grums pulled this from Asmongold's video because obviously since he's deleted his account, you can't pull it from here, where he says, turns out it's real. More crazy Obsidian art director posts from Asmongold's video. Avowed is in deep trouble. Now here's where things cross into the goofy, in my opinion. Ian Miles Chung, who is not someone I consider a good or reliable source for news in any way, shape, or form, reposts this and says, Microsoft's gaming division is excluding whites from being hired to work on their video games. All of their new hires are unqualified queer and black people because the company's executives have an explicit mandate against crusty old white dudes. Now, my issue with this here is that, for one, all he's saying is that he is going to review people's portfolios. In all likelihood, Matt does not have hiring capabilities. He's not saying that Microsoft will hire you. He's not saying that it's Microsoft's position, and he's in no way speaking for Microsoft. He is speaking for himself. So this does not legally impact Microsoft in any way, shape, or form. Now, that's not to deny that Microsoft does have their DEI tendencies, and the fact is they have problems in that regard. But using this statement as proof of that, or as absolute proof of that, is inaccurate. While the sentiment may be correct about the fact that Microsoft does employ discriminatory hiring practices, Matt is not proof of that. Matt is making no statements in regards to Microsoft itself. He is saying that he wants to help a specific group find more jobs to replace him, because he feels that people like him apparently shouldn't be working in gaming. That has its own problems. It's extremely stupid, but it's not something that you can then extrapolate out to Microsoft without Microsoft being the person stating it. Or even Obsidian, honestly. And then, of course, you have Elon, who retweets it and stating that this is illegal. Now, what Elon's saying is true. That is illegal. What Ian Miles Chung is saying is also probably true, but not necessarily directly related to the post he's retweeting. And I'm sure the fact that I'm very particular about the way these facts are used will probably irritate some people, because for a lot of people, close enough is close enough. But for me, if you are going to make an argument, you need to do it on sound ground. And this is not sound ground. This is pretty weak. There's plenty of ways to point out Microsoft's hiring issues. This is the weakest one you could possibly use to approach it. This is a man who is offering his own time to review other people's stuff. And while he may be doing it in a discriminatory way, he's absolutely able to do that. He does not say that he will be specifically hiring anybody. He's saying that he is willing to look at portfolios and give job advice, not that he's willing to hire anybody. And maybe that's just me being pedantic, but whatever. It's something I feel strongly about in regards to how information is used. Now, you may be wondering who this person is, and that is, in fact, the chairman and CEO of Microsoft. Now, how much attention he's going to pay, or if he even cares, I don't know. Considering he's currently overseeing a lot of awful choices in regards to how Microsoft is handling its business, I have no faith in that whatsoever. Now, something I did want to call attention to is if you look here at the tweet, you see where Josh Sawyer retweeted this offer. Well, I went ahead and looked up Josh Sawyer on Blue Sky, and realistically, most of his timeline seems pretty, I don't know. I mean, it's silly in many ways, a lot of music, apparently some corn. No, actual corn, not that kind of corn. Not a whole lot that I would really want to call attention to, but then you reach this, where someone said, "Heard Avowed is woke AF. Is it true? New Vegas was so good, but I don't have any hope for this one." The response is turning a big dial that says New Vegas woke level and constantly looking back at the audience for approval. And apparently the person who made this comment was our friend GigaBear. And I can tell that because you have here the Panda Man trying to troll here as a loser, blah, blah, blah. Then you have this fellow responding, you write for Kotaku and have 4 followers and are e-begging in your bio. I'm not saying your points are invalid, but glass houses and all that. So that's kind of funny there. Not a whole lot of attention on that, but this explains why people are over there asking GigaBear why he's cool with losing money on Mark's Kickstarter. That's an entirely separate conversation. I personally don't care what other people spend their money on, and as I'm not invested in the Kickstarter, that's a separate issue. And as usual, the comments are really just a bunch of echo chambering is the best way to describe it. On Twitter, at least, these people get pushback. Here, they just get praise, which, I mean, it honestly explains why they're here. They don't like pushback at all. To round things out, I found this little green text that Pirate Nation reposted. John Trent created an article over on Fandom Pulse. And the green text, "I will make it political just to make the Chudge mad." And I achieved it. I made people mad. Fuck Chuds, win. Oh, wait, what's that? My game flopped. Wait, there are layoffs in my studio? How? People didn't like me trying to make them mad? They're bigots. Fuck gamers. It's a rough time for game developers, man. The society is failing in so many levels, it's unbelievable. You're laughing. There are families involved and you're laughing. Yeah, of course we're laughing. Our families matter too. And honestly, every time I spend money on a video game, that's money I'm not giving to my family. So you damn well better make something that I want, something that I enjoy, or I'm not going to spend my money on it. And then you lose your job. That is how a market works. You provide goods and services people want. People purchase those goods and services because they want them. And everybody's happy. You make things people don't want, you're fucked. And that's the way it should be. Maybe it's cold and calculating, but that is life. All that said, this is where things currently stand. I will keep an eye on this for anything I think that might be further pertinent to let you guys know, and let me know what you think down in the comments, because I definitely want to hear what your feedback is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.